Alrighty, welcome everyone to yet another vintage cube draft here on my YouTube channel. This is a 64 player event, and you know the drill. That means single elimination. So yeah, let's appreciate life while we have it by seizing the moment. And what are we working with here? If we're shooting for the stars, Underworld Breach is obviously great. I think it is a stretch to expect to put together like Brain Freeze LED. So I'm looking at Solitude and Lightning Bolt, and I believe between those two, Solitude is slightly better. Yeah, I think aside from those three, you can't really justify anything unless you have like heavy bias towards something. But yeah, let's start the draft off with a Solitude. That's never a bad thing. I've passed the Breach, I've passed the Bolt, but other than that, I'm not passing like too much. I guess you can argue Gea's Cradle can be a high pick as well. Okay, next pack, we have some solid ones. Force Negation is obviously just super strong, but I think it's a bit lopsided. Like, it's either amazing or terrible. So I'm not going to look at that card right now. Had I started the draft on a blue card, I most likely would, but I'm going to have to measure up Luminarch Aspirant being like super solid in white versus Reanimate, which has insane upside. And I think Reanimate also because it ironically goes well with Solitude. Like Solitude kill a creature, Reanimate kill another creature, leave a 3/2 lifelink behind is great. So yeah, I'm gonna take Reanimate. Had this white card, this Aspirant been a, let's say, Path to Exile, would have been a way harder pick. Had it been Swords to Plowshares, I would have taken it. So yeah, that's always interesting to think about, like what exactly moves the needle. Reanimate is added to the fold. Okay, next pack. So for me here, I immediately see the double on-color fetch, which would be awesome in case I end up Orshoff. And I see Skullclamp. Skullclamp is a card that I almost always get to work when I get it early, whether it's like token generation, artifact synergies, both. I think that card pulls its weight a lot. This pick is actually going to be hard. Do I want to try and ensure I play both of my first two powerful picks, or do I want Skullclamp as a pretty good build around? Very, very tough pick. And it's because this is Marshflat specifically that it's a tough pick. Yeah, I'm going to take the fetch here. Really not sure about that one. Passing Skullclamp. Just passing up on some very replaceable cards. Okay, this pack has one of the best dual lands in Underground Sea. I mean, if I take Underground Sea, I'm setting myself up to potentially be just blue-black, maybe abandon the Solitude in the future. Or I set myself up to stay blue-black, but being able to splash, let's say, open Ancestral Recall or Time Walk, which has some value. However, Snuff Out for me is a premier removal spell. I think it's really, really strong, like 0 mana, kill your creature with no questions asked, unless they're black. But the good thing is, if I'm heavy black, I'm less likely, since I'm playing Pod, to play against other black drafters. So Snuff Out is actually, I would say it's better in a Pod environment compared to a League where it's free for all. So let's take that over the Underground Sea. Okay, so now the excitement level has kind of died down. So now the question becomes, do I want to take the Ophiomancer, which is just a solid black playable, or do I want to bolster my land situation with Concealed Courtyard? Yeah, not very exciting. Let's say I took the Skullclamp, then I would have taken Ophiomancer, but now that I didn't, I think I want to work on my mana. When you play these two colors, it's pretty important that you're able to play stuff like Solitude, Jailer, but also black. You want to play like Hymn to Torag, Liliana. So yeah, I'm gonna take the Courtyard. Not my favorite fifth pick in the world. So now we have a similar pick between Gix, which is fine. It's Ophiomancer level, I would say. This can like take over some games, but the life loss and the Just the fact that it's a 3/3 with no ETB, etc. Like, it's not amazing. I'm gonna take another land here in Silent Clearing, and then I'm gonna hopefully work on my spells shortly. Speaking of spells, now we have two similar spells instead of two, let's say, similarly powered picks. Damnation versus Toxic. Toxic has some life loss attached, but I think the mana cost of that card being 3 is just so much better that I'm gonna take it. Huh, yeah, this deck is shaping up kind of strange. Wow, black is super open. Okay, this pack must have been insane. Like, we have Talent here, which is awesome in any deck. Karizev awesome in red. Rofello's awesome in green. Shadow Spear can just be great against aggro in any deck, basically. A great Shockland. Probe that goes in any deck. And then what I'm going to take, which is Bitter Triumph. This pack is kind of unreal. So 7 better cards were taken out of this pack. Very hard to imagine, but also just what a pack. Okay, so Lightning Bolt wheeling out of my opening pack. The thing is, I've taken 3 white duels, but I still think I'm supposed to take Lightning Bolt here. Or I'm going to speculate on the Hex Mage. Huh. That's actually a good one, because Hex Mage, I mean, there's one card in the cube that pays me off for that pick. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to take Lightning Bolt here. Grim Lavamancer and Pyrokinesis. Let's take Grim Lavamancer. Let's see if we're slowly morphing into red-black, and we kind of ditch Solitude and, I guess, these 2 lands. I need to keep an eye out. Let's do it like this. So basically, we have the black locked in. These are 4 premier black cards alongside the fetch land. So now we need to figure out if we're going to abandon our first pick, even though we invested 3 picks into lands where we could have taken solid black cards. That's actually kind of scary. Maybe we can wheel one of the black cards. That would be a very good sign. Yeah, here's another good red card. I'm gonna take Soul Scar. Huh. This looks like we're heading in black red direction. So what happens if I do like this? 1 drop, 1 drop, 1 drop. I might not play Toxic in that deck if I end up with all the red 1 drops. So that puts us here. That's actually a good land for my current setup. Yeah, let's put these guys back in. I was just mainly trying to get a visual look. So put these cards in a pile. I have the Solitude here. Let's put them together, actually, because they're kind of a package. The thing about red-black, okay, Ophiomancer Wheel, that card is decent. If we can get gigs here, maybe I'm not that happy, but it's actually a decent card. Especially if you get like, oh, okay, Robber is super solid red 2-drop. I think in maybe like 2/3 of the matchup is pretty easy to trigger, and other than that, it's just like 2/2 haste. The reach has come up once or twice for me as well. Once where I got like super surprised. Oh, what a gift! And my opponent blocked what I thought was a lethal shark token, I believe. And the other time it's just the opponent getting surprised by the same thing, right? Wow. We open power. This is pack 2. We open power, but it's the worst possible power, and there's like the best black card. So how does those 2 match up? I think it's close, but I like the Emerald. Playing my cards ahead of schedule is always going to be great. So yeah, let's go for the Emerald. What are we hoping to wheel? Realistically, the Inti maybe. So basically, if I'm in red-black, I really like that I got 2 super late lands. I need to really prioritize the mana while also picking up solid playables, which is not that easy, actually. Like, a situation like this, what do you do? Like, premier playable versus something that improves your mana and inevitably makes casting your spells easy. I think I'm supposed to take Lelia here, but I mean, even the Dark Confidant would be interesting. Yeah, let's take the Lelia here. Lelia is just a very, very strong card. Next pack, we have Him to Turok, but I think that's going to be too hard for our current setup. We have Dismember that I always like. I think that's just a pick. Dismember is just clear the way, keep attacking. Like, that's the name of the game. And you can cast it off the Emerald, which is insane when you get to do it. Okay, let's take Dismember. Super solid pickup. Not Lelia tier, of course, but super solid. Going Mox Lelia Dismember is it's great. So yeah, abandoning the Solitude is not my favorite thing to do, but I think it's very important to have that. Let's call it a skill. Maybe that's I'm taking my mouth too full here, but it's very important to have that skill. Like, Solitude is an insane card. When you put it here, it's probably the best card in my deck after, or my pool rather, after Mox Emerald. You can argue it's at least, let's say, on par with Reanimate, and we have to abandon it because the draft kind of dictates, yeah, you're not getting any good white pack one. Maybe you can get a little bit of good white pack two, but then your deck basically have to be almost mono black if you insist on running that card. So now we have Lelia, we have Lightning Bolt, and we hopefully have some good red cards coming. That's kind of, you kind of have to measure up the Solitude against. Okay, this is a great pack because the Oliphant I really like in Black Red because of reanimation spells. And the Oliphant fixes my mana. So I'm giving up a Wooded Foothills, but I'm taking a Wooded Foothills that can get reanimated, basically. Next pack has a super solid playable in a Braid and something that improves my mana. And here I'm actually going to take something that improves my mana. I like a Braid, don't get me wrong. But I think this is a good excuse to improve my mana. Also, I'm very interested in, well, obviously, like Badlands and Blood Crypt. But I'm also very interested in the Troll. The Troll is just so good. If I can get Animate Dead or Necromancy, I remember I had a Black-Red deck. I can't remember if I played it on the channel. I think I did, where I had Oliphant, I had Troll, and then I had like 2 reanimations. So I basically had a 2+2 combo, which was pretty sick. Speaking of combo, I don't think I'm gonna be Faithless looting. I think I'm gonna be like low to the ground aggro. So I don't really want that card disadvantaged. I'm not, looking to set up broken at all costs. So I guess this is Brea's Apprentice versus Lurrus. I wonder what's better. Lurrus is insane if we get Bauble. I'm not going to count Black Lotus because, well, I guess count for a little bit. Brea's Apprentice is always kind of, not the best. Then the question becomes, can I support double black? I'm just going to take the Lurrus. It has the highest upside, but I don't expect to play it. Let me put it that way. Yeah, Dragon Age Channeler, great 1-drop. The thing is, red has more 1-drops, so most likely my mana base is gonna feature more red sources than black sources, which is a counter argument for cards like Hymn, Lurrus, etc. But if I get a Black Lotus or Bauble, I'll play the Lurrus no matter what. I'll make it work. Okay, I mean, I like where we're at. We spent a few picks trying to set up a Orzhov mana base and support Solitude, but this is okay. Was this just a full brick? I think it is. Okay, so no cards here. I'm actually going to hate pick the Balance. I think that card could kind of wreck me in the games. That's something you can think about a little bit, I would say, in a pod environment, like hate drafting. We did wheel the Inti. That is a quality 2-drop. The card provides a lot of value. Like, it's a grizzly bear with a whole lot of sauce on it. You can grow your creatures, discard excess lands. You can even enable like reanimation stuff. We even wield Dark Confidant. So low to the ground, black-red is definitely where we're supposed to be. I love this a lot. Natural Order is still in the pack. That's pretty insane. Cards like Snuff Out, Dismember aren't the best with Dark Confidant, but I think it's okay. This pack doesn't really have anything. I'm not really scared to play against any of these cards. I guess the Renegade Rallier is potentially some kind of annoying speed bump. Okay, just going to take the Enlightened Tutor, pass 3 green, doesn't really matter. Okay, I might play Manamorphose. There is a world where I get, so I have Soul Scar, Dragon Rage. If I get also Swift Spear, then I have 3 creatures that synergize with it. I think that's would be a good enough reason to run it. Okay, so where are we at? We're on 14 playables, minus the land stuff. So I have some work to do here. Definitely have some work to do. Huh. Okay. Interesting pack. Very interesting pack. So for my deck, I want Fatal Push, I want Gut, and I want Death. I think I'm the most likely to wield the Gut out of those 3, but I also think that card is just the best for my deck. I think that card is amazing. What happens if I take the Gut? Then I probably wield the Ferocidon. How sad am I going to be about that? Maybe not that sad. Yeah, I'll take the Gut. That card is crazy. If somebody else is just picking that card up, I would be super sad. But it is actually the highest chance of wheeling out of the pack, I would say. Okay, so this pack has a few things we like. We like improving our mana. It is a tap land, though. We like GT against other creature-based decks. But I also like just a bread and butter 3/1. Maybe take that and try and wield the land. I think cards like Grave Titan, Blue Talisman, Preordain, Plateau, Urte, like, there's a bunch of cards getting picked here. I think I can wield the land. Let's take the 2-drop. There's a troll. What am I taking over? What am I taking the troll over? Taking the troll over Battery, which I can wheel. I think I'll wheel one of the red cards, so take troll and do that. Okay. Sweet. There's Bauble for the reintroduction of Lurrus in a pack with absolutely nothing else. Yeah, let's take that and bring Lurrus back. I like that. There's Exhume, so I think I have to take that card over Badlands, even though it's kind of stinks, but I have double Cycler, and then I'll have Reanimate plus Exhume, so that means like 2+2 A plus B combos for turn 2, Fatty. That's just gonna give my deck a lot of power. I'm sad about the Badlands. That card would be insane, especially with those 2 Cyclers. Yeah, this draft is pretty exciting. Once I found my seat, I've had some cool decisions. I can't remember. Yeah, the turning point was wheeling the lightning bolt out of the opening pack. That was kind of insane, actually, because it was. I think for me, it was the second best card in the pack, which is interesting because it's so subjective, right? Thank you. So there's Archon, but we can't really put Archon in the yard. We have, like, let's see how many cards we have. We have Bitter Triumph, Inti. Yeah, that's not going to work. Blood-Tithe Harvester, on the other hand, that's a good card. Just a great card when you're in the colors. Not, I mean, well, obviously. I'm just saying you're not splashing for that card. It's like playing a normal set, and then it's like your gold uncommon. That's going to be good in your deck, right? That's what it's designed to be, so. Interesting. So let's see. Polluted Delta improves my mana because it can go get tapped red and black. But maybe I don't need that compared to Hellrider. Hellrider can just finish off opponents. Let's quickly do a playable count here. If I add 13, yeah, I need a playable or 2, so Hellrider is perfect. I might actually need to do a cut or 2 when I get to the end, because I'm gonna wheel probably like Rapid Battery and one more card. Let's worry about the math later, I guess. I'll try and look if I have any, like, Ophiomancer. Yeah, I don't need to play that card. Let's just put that in the sideboard. It's not very aggressive. Fire Covenant. That card is going to be insane sideboard card at the very least. Yeah, I'm supposed to take Fire Covenant here. Fire Covenant is, yeah, it's like the black red Parallax Wave, I would say. I like that comparison because Parallax Wave really shines and like I have 3 creatures, you have 3 creatures. What are we gonna do about it? We're sitting here. Okay, we wield the life death. Am I gonna play 3 reanimations? Probably. I wield the land. That's the one I was thinking about, and then the rabbit battery. I think. Okay, battery got taken, which is funny. So we wield the shield breaker, but that's easier to put in my sideboard at the very least. I think playing Reanimate, Exhume, and Life Death is viable. Because Reanimate is going to be good no matter what, and then Exhume and Life Death, those guys only work with, the big boys. So I think that's okay. So you have like a 2+2 combo here, and then Reanimate is just always going to be good because I play like Old Snuff Out, Bitter Triumph, etc. Badlands Wield, oh my goodness. Whew. That was beautiful. That was like a gift just before closing time, right? I could never like. I thought there was like either some kind of domain deck or a Grixis deck or something out there that's just gonna snap up the Badlands, but very awesome pickup. Let's take this one. More likely to make a deck than a multicolor card this late. Okay, so we ended up with a pretty sweet deck. Let's say I just add 9 lands to the deck. That would put me at 15 lands. I actually just think we have a deck right here looking at us. What do we have in our sideboard? We have the Shield Breaker. Do I want that card? Let me check. How many have any? Yeah, a lot of 2-drops here. You can argue the Manamorphose is actually worse, so let's make that swap. It's a creature, so good with Hellrider, etc. Just like reducing your opponent's life total, I guess. Yeah, I think this is gonna be my deck. I'm gonna add 9 basics to the deck, and then I'll see you guys for the matches. Don't go anywhere. Okay, everyone, we're back. Round 1. I'm playing black-red aggro with some kind of reanimation theme. And yeah, here we go. Opening hand here on the play. The bubble makes this a keep, but I'm also very knowing about the fact that this could be a quick one. I'm missing out on a prowess trigger because hitting my land on turn 2 is just, too important. Let's see what we're up against. Artifact aggro. Okay, that's cool. But it's only cool if we kind of get going here with second land. Okay, that lets us play. Tap lands are not the best, but it's obviously better than flat out losing. Huh. Okay, now I think it's time to just get the robber going, drawing the untapped source. Then next turn I can go into tap land. That's perfect. Robber gets going. Opponent is fetching here, which is kind of cool because let's say the opponent has has a triome, and just the off chance that I mill exactly that triome could mess up my opponent's hand. Oh, even Blooming Marsh. Okay, so the opponent can kill Robber here, which is, kind of annoying, but it is what it is. So now I don't think I'm looking to trade in any of the cards in my hand. I'm just looking to attack for 1 here and play the Inti. Then maybe next turn we can do some stuff with its ability, but not now. I have a good combo in my hand. I have Snuff Out Reanimate, which very well could be a good play because other artifact creatures. Okay, so I can kind of trade my life total to lord up my own creatures, or blue artifact. Okay, that's kind of cool. So maybe I play Channeler first. I have a lot of plays here. I can go Channeler. I can go Snuff Out, Prowess, and Channeler. Oh, is that card any good? It very well could be against my opponent's deck. Let's see how I'm doing on card types in the yard. Artifact. a creature instant. And I'm also gonna get a sorcery. Huh. Yeah, I'll take the Shield Breaker over a random card at this stage. So that card is dead. Let's reanimate that card. Or I could reanimate the Robber. Oh, is that it? But the thing is, if I reanimate the Robber, I was supposed to bin... And I guess we can do that. We can bin the top card of my library on the reanimation. Huh. Interesting. Is the Robber better? Yeah, I guess hitting cards from top of my opponent's deck is pretty sick. Now let's put this in the yard to make sure we have Delirium. Yeah, we get in there. Let's see what we're robbing. I'm not gonna get rid of the Harvester here. We hit a Brainstorm. That's sick. I wonder... Yeah, okay, so we can play the Brainstorm right away. That's awesome. Like, getting in for how much? I can maybe even prowess before damaged. Is that how it works? Maybe I missed the boat on that, not sure. I didn't really expect to hit a 1-mana instant, so maybe I was too quick to click. Too quick to click. I need to make some kind of title using that. Brainstorm. That is a good one. I'll play as a Brainstorm before damage. This is kind of absurd. Yeah, more prowess, more selection. I don't think I want land. Draw 2, put 2 back. So here I think I have to think about what do I want to... Like, for instance, I think the Exhume is bad, so maybe I'm supposed to put that... Let me think. Maybe so I'm milling on my upkeep. There's also something to be said about setting up Inti, like discarding the Exhume and then playing from the top of my deck, but I'm really not sure this game is going to last much longer. Like, I'm going to get in for 8 here, the opponent's at 7, then they need to sweep the board. So I guess I want to set up the best possible plays in case I get swept. Swept or comboed out, I guess. So maybe I'm supposed to draw the Harvester and discard Exhume to Bitter Triumph. Is that how it works? The land. Huh. Yeah, that was too tough for me. So, opponent takes 8. Nice turn 4. Having a creature killed. Opponent playing a 2/4. We just breezed by that draw. My opponent really needs something great now. Like, really, really great. And that wasn't the case. So what do we learn here? We didn't see a lot. We saw our library. We saw a Quint color mana base. And we saw an artifact synergy card with a Brainstorm. Not quite sure what's going on there. Oh, by the way, I added Manamorphose last minute because I realized I was doing okay on mana. I have 14 lands, 2 Cyclers, and an Emerald, so you could say this is not the same as 17 lands, but it's maybe the same as 16 lands, which I think is going to be plenty in this deck, because when you move these cards down the curve where they're actually played, the deck is very, very low to the ground. I'm going to keep the Fire Covenant. I just think that card can kill 2 creatures in most matchups, so let's keep that card around. That was a beating. Like, my 1-land hand that my opponent played a couple of disruptive things, a removal and a 2/4, but we just, powered through. Okay, so here the tap lands are showing their ugly face again. Had it not been for the tap lands, I would have had, like, very fast Oliphant. Ooh, never mind. So now we have turn 2 Oliphant, which is quite the clock. The opponent has Library of Alexandria going, which is always a great start. All you can really do is just, you know, try and be fast and make them lose with a bunch of cards in hand. Cycling Oliphant for Badlands. Let's just play out the Blackleaf Cliffs and try and reanimate. This is obviously a great start. My opponent's Mox might have something to say about it. A 2-mana counter would be annoying. Let's hope it's not... Okay, so the opponent goes off library here, which is the good news. Our powerful start got negated. Let's see what we have here. Torok. Torok is a cool one. Wow, I draw Reanimate. I draw Reanimate straight off the bat. That's sick. Let's reanimate the big boy. Let's play a creature land out, and then I think I hold up my removal here. I bet there's some way to get punished, but I think I can find a spot where concealing the information gives me an advantage. Scavenging Ooze. Okay. Scavenging Ooze is a good one. I think the way to play this is just Lightning Bolt Torag end of turn. Untap Harvester. Harvester. Maybe I just play Kill the Ooze and play that. I think that's fine. I go to 10. Kill Ooze. Play Harvester. Get the blood. Play the land because theoretically I want to get in for damage with my Menace creature next turn. It's also evasive thanks to the, well, Menace and then +2/+0 and Trample. Let's see here. My opponent needs a sick play right now. 2/4. Okay. Not too scared about that. So what I can do here is 5/2, 6. Yeah. I think I'm just supposed to attack here and see what happens. What happens if I make this bigger? Then I attack for 10. I think that's what I'm supposed to do. Obviously target that. And let's see, what's this? May discard. I'll look for something else. That's fine. Opponent can block there. We'll take a bunch of damage. So now, yeah, now the opponent needs to... I'll hang on to the land here. Now the opponent really needs something. Like, is this Grave Titan? That is exactly Grave Titan. But let's see. Oh, okay, I dropped Gut. Then, well, maybe that doesn't change anything. Let's see what this card does. If I sacrifice this, I kill a zombie. This, huh. I don't think I'm supposed to do that. Because if I kill a zombie, my opponent can double block the Oliphant. My opponent goes to 1. I mean, it's playable. I kill the Titan with this card, this Trampler. What's the other line? What if I go Gut, attack? Yeah, Gut, attack with everything, sack the blood token. Then I have a 4/1 skeleton coming in. That's most likely going to connect. Then the opponent's going to go block 1, go to 1 life. And I have a Menace skeleton and a Menace here. But maybe that doesn't work if the opponent... No, they can't chump here. They need to block here with a Titan. So what happens if they go take the damage here, trade there, double block the skeleton, then they're at 2, and I have a menace creature here. I wonder which one of those scenarios are best for me. Oh, I can get my opponent to 1. I really want this card to be lethal next turn. The opponent has 2 cards in. Very tough situation here. Blood the small card. Get attacked to 1. Kill the zombie. This one is gone. Attack with both. Opponent needs to double block. Then it's a zombie versus a menace creature. Maybe if I play a land, then I can draw. No, this doesn't really work. What was the other option? Play gut. Attack with everything. I think that's what I'm going to do. Play gut. Attack. Attack. Think this is better? How does my opponent survive here against 2 tramplers? I think I missed the +2/+0 and trample when I thought about it first. That block my opponent has to do. Yeah, I think this is just lethal. I didn't think about the +2/+0 and trample. So now if you double block the skeleton, you take lethal from the vampire. If you double block the vampire, 1 trample gets through alongside the 4 menace. So yeah, I think that does it exactly. Okay. This deck is just like my draws here were absurd. My reanimation got countered. I just drew another one like a champ. I mean, then there was a tough combat situation in the end that I didn't really figure out, but yeah. The power of gut, the power of menace, the power of trample got me there. That was round 1. I'll see you guys for the semifinals of the pod. Don't go anywhere. Okay, everyone, we're back with the semifinals of Black-Red. I guess Black-Red Reanimator. The deck has just been renamed. It is no longer an aggro deck. It's now a Reanimator deck. Huh. Pretty sweet hand here. We can even go... Yeah, we can cycle turn 1, animate turn 2. We can even, if we need to, kill the opponent's creature. Play the mountain out. I'm not sure there's any like strategical reason to do one or the other, especially because I have Badlands in my deck. So let's see. Cycle Troll, go get Badlands. Dark Confidant is a good draw. So maybe I'm supposed to go 2-mana reanimation here. I do play into Daze, which is unfortunate, but I think it's worth it because it just uses my mana so much better. I'm now at 14 life. That's not nothing. There's life loss on a lot of my cards here. 5 life loss cards. Suicide Black, baby. Suicide Black. Huh. Let's see what the Japanese fisherman does against a quick troll. I have good interaction in my hand. And I have a confidant to kind of keep the cards flowing. If my troll doesn't survive, the confidant can become a little bit iffy, but I mean, what are we going to do about it? There's also the argument that if my opponent gets rid of the troll, actually, not many cards do at this point, but if they kill it, it goes to the yard. I want to reanimate it once more. I'm not sure. When it is demonstrating Grixis colors. Exhume even. Okay. So if the troll ends up getting killed by, let's say, double burn or whatever, then I can at least exhume it back. That's not terrible. So now let's go Dark Confidant. Hold up red because my only interaction is Dismember, so that can maybe throw off my opponent just a tiny bit. let's say they prioritize playing a big creature that doesn't die to red removal. Then I have the Dismember, whatever. So now I'm trying to close my opponent out before getting comboed. I'm pretty well set up against anything that isn't combo, so main priority is just reducing my opponent's life total. Opponent's playing some cool basics here. It's like some mosaic. I don't know if that translates. That's what it's called in my language. Okay, third path is decent. I think I'm supposed to try and kill it before my turn. Take damage. A lot of damage here. Let's try and go to 10. That happens. Flip with Confidant. We do have 6-drop in our deck. We hit Snuff Out. Can't say I'm the biggest fan of hitting Snuff Out in that spot. Let's attack for 8. Put my opponent down to 6. So now they need to deal with the troll. I didn't draw anything to use my mana on. What I could do is reanimate the third path. Go to 5. Maybe that's okay. Oh my gosh, this can get super ugly. Oh, to 4. Yeah. Well, for some reason I thought I was only losing 1 life. Okay. I might try and kill my own Dark Confidant before my turn. Because I have a Hell Rider and I have a Mountain Cycler. Oh my goodness. So what I could have done was save some life on Dismember. Oh boy. I'm at... Wait a minute. 2 damage. Okay. Do I go to 2? Am I just getting burned out? That's awesome. Oh, okay. That would have been truly awesome. Like, insane draw from my end, but my opponent just burns me out and say, yeah, thanks. Okay. So now, ooh, yeah, this is super cool. I love this. So what happens if I go Exhume? I mean, that's what I have to do, right? Exhume, I get back the Troll. The opponent gets back third path. I play the Soul Scar out. Yeah, I'm really sad about the Dismember now. Now I lose to a dragon. Yeah. What? The opponent with the misclick. Wow. That's terrible. Let's... Yeah, wow, that's simply terrible. Oh my goodness. The opponent with the misclick there, they play a hasty Glorybringer that's just lethal. Oh, yeah, that's not what you want. I mean, we play in a semi-high stakes setting, so I take it, but it's definitely not the way I prefer to win a game of Magic. So what do we know now? We're playing against like Grixis. Huh. Fire Covenant looks cool if my opponent's on like Iconoclast and Friends. My opponent did show the Sweeper, 2 damage to all of my creatures and my face, which was... Oof, it got dicey there. And the opponent's follow-up to that was Flame Slash and not any like Burst Lightning or whatever to the face. Well, yeah, the Dismember playing against a red deck was too much. I think if the situation comes up again, I'm just gonna, untap and I'm just gonna untap and hardcast my Dismember and keep attacking. That was... Okay, so on the draw here, I have a hand with a lot of removal, a couple of creatures. Fine. Forgot I put the Shield Breaker in the main, but I'm not sure I have anything else. Play the Swamp out in case I need to Snuff out in this turn cycle. Not really sure about that. Well, that card is cool, so I guess I just Dismember. untap and play a 3/1. Maybe I'm supposed to Manamorphose first. Might as well, I think. So add red and black. Oh, I draw Reanimate. But maybe I hang on to that card. What happens if yeah, let's just do this. Oh, this deck has so much life loss in it. So now I can, let's say my opponent plays some kind of creature. Talisman, okay. So I think what I'm supposed to do here is go battle display that talisman. Oh, I was about to reanimate first. I need to play a little slower here. I was supposed to reanimate the icon, then go. Okay, so maybe I get rewarded for playing poorly. That is, yeah, that works. So let's see. Opponent has 3 cards in hand. I like putting that card into play. Play my tap land. And then I have a few ways to trigger third path, but only if my opponent plays creatures. So let's see about that. The opponent did show the sweeper last game. I'm at 11. I didn't do anything to my opponent's life total yet, which is kind of scary. Yeah, so funnily enough, had I done it correctly, I reanimate this, I shield breaker that one, and then I'm left with a 1/1 instead of a third path. So, oh, that's a cool play. Oh, yeah, that's a cool play. Let's see what we can do here. Let's play that, play that. And now the opponent can go third path again. They have a Brazen Borrow in exile, which is reasonable tempo plan. I think I also have to get going here. Flametongue Kavu. So what I can do here is kill my own creature. Does that even make sense? And with what spell am I gonna do it? Probably Lightning Bolt. So if I Lightning Bolt my own, it's the same, right? Except, yeah, I'll just Lightning Bolt my own creature. Then the opponent can Flame Tongue. The opponent's hand is, um, what's it called? Iconoclast. They have that card in exile. Let's get in for the first damage of the game, which is not impressive. Yeah, I think I need to think a little bit more about how I... Oh, Chandra even triggering here. Okay, so what I can do is kill the Chandra and kill the icon. Troll. Troll doesn't really help me here. Does it make sense to discard the troll or just discard the mountain? I think it's better to discard the troll then. So I go kill, discard troll, snuff out, go to 5. I'm not really winning that game, I think. But I think I have to do it. Okay. So with like removal and ways to pressure me, like when my opponent handles my first creatures, the life loss really comes back to bite me here. I'm pretty lucky I have a game 3 up my sleeve here. Talisman doesn't do anything, but oh, my opponent's gonna attack me to 1 in the air. And I don't see, then I'm supposed to draw like a 1-mana answer. Or 2-mana answer, yeah, 2-mana answer, I guess. Yeah, the opponent's not going to make the mistake this time. Okay. So the life lot is not without a cost. I might board in a Tali here because there's actually... I have Bitter Triumph, Inti, and Harvester as a way to, get that card into play. Into the yard, rather. This can be tough. Some small removals, some annoying creatures. Like, this is a tough matchup. So, what about this hand? I think I keep it on the back of its potential. Harvester makes it so that I can draw a Tali, I can draw the land cyclers. I have a couple of creatures back to back. If I draw removal, I can target my opponent's creatures with reanimate. If I draw removal, Exhume is kind of a dead card, but then I can just cycle it to blood. So you kind of have to sequence those in a good way. I can lead on a tap land here, and I have untapped lands from now on. Opponent with a single mulligan. Otawara is the land drop. Preordain. Okay. Opponent's sculpting a little bit here. We only saw like fair cards coming out of the opponent until now, but who knows? Swamp is not ideal. I'm gonna play out the Harvester. That's like the most upside in case I spike Tali. Mountain Pass. Land is not exactly what I wanted, let's be honest. Attacking with a 3/2. Get in the damage. So the opponent has that sweeper, but I'm not sure I can play around that. I'm gonna play Legionnaire. If I get 2 mana countered, I'll reanimate it. Now I'm gonna cycle a Swamp before my turn with the blood, I think. There's also an argument. No, I think it's good to do it. Cycle the Swamp. Another Swamp. Lalia. The thing is, my opponent showed that sweeper. So this is a good way for my opponent to play around hasters by waiting. So, yeah, I'll try and get in for 6 here. It's kind of sad to slow down my clock, but I think it's a good... Yeah, now I look like a genius. So, those cards are gone. I think I want to go reanimate the... No, maybe... Tough. So what happens if I just reanimate both? Maybe that's the play I want to make. Let's Exhume. Get back Legionnaire. Then reanimate. Get back Harvester. Then I have a hasty Lalia next turn. I get rid of Mountain with the blood. Keep it in play because of Iconoclast. I might want to kill an Iconoclast, but I don't hope that's the case. Someone plays 4th land, sacks. So we know about Chandra. Icon. Okay. Icon and Fire, killing off that card. Makes sense because the opponent doesn't want me to kill the 3rd path. They feel like that's their, way back into this game, which could be the case. Let's see. Oliphant, Lalia. So maybe I go cycle Oliphant, get Badlands. I battle display the soldier. I think it's a reasonable play. Then I Lalia. So I realize I'm playing into days here. But this gives me good attacks. I don't want my opponent to double block the Lelia. We hit a land we can't play because I prioritized getting Oliphant going. Opponent's down to 10. Opponent's passing here. Okay. I think, nice draw. I think what I do here is I go straight to combat. Because the opponent could have something like Mystic Confluence. I don't want to get blown out and reanimate my land. I think what I do here, if I get double bounced... Oh, I don't get double bounced. Okay, so maybe I'm supposed to go... Yeah, I'll fire a Covenant here. Get that out of the way. Then I'll play the Shield Breaker and Hasty Lelia next turn. Opponent draws 2 cards there, which is, good play. But I'm really putting on the pressure here. Opponent's at now it's at 7. I have a lot of damage. Huh. Opponent with 5 cards in hand. That is a lot. But I have the creatures in play. I even have a menace creature here in case that's the play. Lelia as a 3/3 haster is just solid, right? My opponent bouncing that, so they're prioritizing cards. But then again, they didn't expect to get Fire Covenanted there. That was a brutal draw. Okay, the opponent ran out of gas here in the end. They had a sweeper. I'm really happy how I played against that sweeper. They had a Fire Ice where they prioritized killing the 3/2, not letting me untap with Harvester, because Harvester can kill the third path, which was kind of their way to stabilize. And then once the Triumph was cycled, I knew I was in good shape. Let's see what's top of my deck. Grim Lavamancer. So now I have the option between going attack with Vents, play Lavamancer, or attack with Lelia, Lavamancer second main. Just too much pressure for the opponent to handle. Okay, I didn't play perfectly the first 2 games, like with my life total. That was, I even got a gift. The opponent didn't attack with 4/4 Flyer. That would have just eliminated me from the tournament, right? So, yeah, I'm very thankful I get another chance in the pod finals. I think this deck is good enough to take it all down, but yeah, see you for the next match, and let's see if the prophecy comes true. Okay, here we are for the finals of the first pod in the 64-player Vintage Cube Draft Tournament. I'm on the play here against Ekin, and our hand is a little bit awkward. I don't think it's awkward enough that I'm trying to get away from it, but yeah, tap lands sometimes come with a cost. If I don't play this land, there's a 50-50-ish chance this is a swamp, making the hand a mulligan. So yeah, overall, these tap lands in the beginning of the game are decent. I do prefer Blackcliff Cliffs over it. Last time I played against Ekin, he played a super sweet combo deck. So let's see here. If I go Manamorphose, I'm probably supposed to do that. The other alternative is I go Channeler, cycle Oliphant end of turn, the next turn Manamorphose get a little bit of selection in. Okay, I'll get a little bit of selection in here. I really don't think there's a world where my opponent's going to interact with the Manamorphose. The ultimate punishment is something like Orcish Bowmasters. That would be very, very good. Let's see. Cycle, I'll just go get Badlands. Then I will untap. Okay, then I'll play the Blackcliff Cliffs most likely. I'll play Manamorphose, Surveil. So, do I want the Harvester over a random card? I think I do. 2? Yeah, I'll do that. So I draw a Harvester. No, I don't. I get Pierced. Yeah, this is annoying because now I could have... If I Manamorphose the previous turn, I can now Lelia, but I think it's only I want to get punished by anti-draw and soft counter. So I think it's just like a reasonable gamble to take. It just didn't work out in my favor here. Gonna let my opponent mill here. I take 7, which is not nothing. What's best? Double 2-drop or Lelia? Double 2-drop or Lelia. I have instant creature in the yard. Think I'm gonna go for double creature. Is that good? I would imagine. Double creature. Attack for 1. Fire Covenant is... Yeah, I don't think it's... No. Let's say no here, because that Fire Covenant may come in handy, and I'm not really getting any value. If I was gonna do it, I was supposed to play first main phase Inti, then attack a discard, see if I can hit something from the top. But let's see. Opponent with a Pain Land, which I always like seeing. It's something, when you're playing a deck like this, if the fixing isn't, detrimental to your strategy, cutting these for basics and sideboarding versus, like, super aggro, I like that quite a lot. I'm expecting my opponent to play some kind of combo, but now that I see Nissa, I think my opponent's maybe just mid-range. Let's see. If my opponent plays one more creature, I could see myself going for a big Fire Covenant to just force through damage. I think I'm even supposed to have a stop on my upkeep, because let's say my opponent plays random 3/4, the Sentinel. Let's put it that way. Then on upkeep, I can Fire Covenant, fix my draw a little bit. Oh, Pest Infestation. Okay, that's cool. So now I think I'm supposed to give my opponent the extra card, and then try and force through damage. Yeah, you draw that card, buddy. And then I'm gonna go upkeep, Fire Covenant, divide 6 damage. I like that Lightning Bolt. Opponent gains a bit of life. Huh. Wonder if I... No, I don't think that's how you play. I can put Lily in the graveyard, but that doesn't make much sense either, I think. No, I'm fine. Huh. Okay. So my opponent gains a little bit of life back thanks to the pests dying. Monastery Mentor and Fast Bond. I'm gonna bolt the Mentor in response here. Not gonna draw the Dark Confidant. I think that's too much life loss here. Let's see if the opponent's gonna do anything about the Fast Bond side of things. I'm gonna let my opponent draw a card here. Draw. Mox. Mox is not a bad one. Maybe I'm supposed to... No, I can't. Okay. Let maybe use that to power with Inti here. So I go Lelia. What do I get here? Soul Scar is a cool one, so that grows. Discard, target. I think I'm supposed to target Channeler here to force through damage. Oh, Lelia even grows more here. Okay, that's sick. So my opponent doesn't have a, like, they just prevent 4 damage with the monk. That's decent. Second main, I play Soul Scar, pass. And then my opponent has a lot of work to do here. Like, they need something broken. But they don't have a lot of life to play with when it comes to Fast Bond. Also, Horizon Canopy might be annoying. I'm really putting on the pressure here. Time Walk is sick. Let's see if they have any, like, great play here. Two mana, I think. Yeah, 2 mana in the pool. Let's see. I'm at 7, so I mean, Crucible. Okay. I'm gonna let my opponent draw this card for kind of obvious reasons. Let's see what they do here. So now that my opponent has some draws with Crucible, Horizon Canopy, but not much life to work with. Let's see what the opponent decides on with the Scry 2 here. Palantir is a powerful... it becomes like a good Phyrexian arena in the mid-game. So, yeah, my opponent needs some pretty insane power play to beat my board. Even the Inti is pretty good at, you know, I just get like a 6/6 trampling Lelia if nothing happens. Let's say my opponent produces a ton of tokens, but then with Inti, you discard a card, then you exile the top of your library. That grows Lelia, as does Lelia's own trigger. So it becomes a 6/6, and I have that card available to play, right? Also, now I have 3 card types in the yard, creature, instant, and artifact, meaning if I mill a land or sorcery, Chandler is Delirious. Okay, 1 top, 1 bottom. I mean, I have to let them draw cards because the combination of the top 4 could easily be 7 damage total. Okay, One Ring is awesome. Opponent draws a card. That is like a Time Walk-ish, right? Yeah. Let's see if we can find anything meaningful here. I don't even know what that could be. I'm trying to think about my deck here. Opponent has protection, so I think all my deck does is like kill creatures and deal damage. I don't think I have any. Yeah, you draw 1 more card, buddy. I don't like it. Gut. Okay, so Gut is a card that lets me be even harder to beat on board. Do I have a creature I'm willing to sacrifice to Gut? Yeah. I mean, I'll do that with the Soul Scar Mage. I'm gonna play it first main because I might as well. I might get a card from Lelia. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. Lelia exiles Hellrider. Doesn't do anything. Gut. Sacrifice. And then I'm just gonna pass, right? Because the opponent's not taking any damage, but I kind of throw my Lelia, put a skeleton into play. So now the opponent can draw 2 cards from the One Ring, and those cards need to beat me. I'm trying to think about if this is infinite draws. I'm going to ask my opponent. Is this infinite? Because I'm really not sure. Cobra. Huh. Yeah, because Courser, you kind of cancels out the fast bond. So, I'm just going to let my opponent play it out. But I think this is some kind of infinite. But maybe the Cobra is infinite mana, right? So I'll just see my opponent's deck. I mean, Time Walk and Mentor are gone. That would be like an obvious way to turn the tides at some point. So now... Okay, so the opponent can make zombies, right? Hmm. So now I'm left with 0 lands. Opponent gains many zombies, right? Yeah, because Crucible Courser Fast Bond. That's like, that evens out, so my opponent also gets the mana. So right now I'm just playing for info. I saw Questing Beast. So the opponent is like a land strategy with all the pieces. But what really got me this game was the Palantir, I think. Just my opponent kept getting resources, right? I think I did my best to force through damage. Just keep pressing. That's how it is sometimes. I also have a lot of hard removal for like Courser or problematic stuff in the deck. So what the opponent is looking to do here is go... I guess they could just... Yeah, now they have field going, so now I can strip all my lands, make enough blockers that Gut doesn't do anything. But trying to think here if I can draw anything that gives me Delirium. I don't think I can from 0 mana now that the Mox is gone. Let's just see what's going on here to learn about our opponent's deck. All the lands pieces, Pest Infestation, Nissa, that Spell Pierce was brutal. That actually, that decision lost me this game as well, or could have won me the game. I think my decision is still reasonable. It's super close whether the selection from Chandler is worth getting blown out by something like Pierce and Bowmasters. It's a close decision. What can I say? Opponent's making many tokens. The thing is, I want to learn about my opponent's deck. If this was just, let's say, a league match, I would have conceded a long time ago, but... Okay, so the opponent has a deck where I can reasonably, like, run this deck over um, before getting to this point. So that's going to be my game plan going into games 2 and 3. I wonder why my opponent didn't just strip mine me 4 times yet, but I guess they can do that whenever they want. Oh, yeah. Yeah, sometimes we get games like this. I realize it's not the most entertaining, but let's try and be educational. Cameo and Time Walk, that's a good combo. Did I see what my opponent's playing red for yet? It's also possible, because my opponent plays Wooded Foothills, then that's just a, like, blue and red land. That's why my opponent plays Steam Vents. Oh, Ren at 6, okay. And also Feel of the Dead is a reason. Okay, so the opponent Time Walked in the end with Tameo, and will now attack for lethal. So I'm gonna mill my opponent here. So if my opponent accidentally put a bunch of lands on the bottom, do I just win? Let's say I mill over a combined not 7 here. Okay. So my opponent had nine left. That's good. That's good to hear. Okay, so the lands deck. What can we do about that? The Manamorphose really didn't pay off that game. Maybe I'm high rolling a little bit with a Tali here. That could be cool. And yeah, I mean, let's just draw like a similar hand and see if we can get the job done. That was cool. Always that Ekin is and obviously an insane limited player, but also he does a very good job in these cubes. I've played against him in numerous 2-0 spots, and I think both of those times he was playing like combo esque, like he loves to draw sevens, loves fast bond, and basically what we just saw. I think that's kind of deck he prefers to play. I don't really know what kind of deck I prefer to play. I think I prefer these aggressive decks, or I like these aggressive decks a lot, but I'm not sure I prefer them to anything. All right, game 2. We have a great hand here. We are ready to go. Turn 1 Channeler, turn 2 Cycle Oliphant, reanimate it. That develops the Channeler, but it yeah, I think that's more powerful. So the argument to cycle and exhume is less likely to be good later. But I think this is cool. So I'll just upkeep. I'll do the marginal deck thinning here. Let's reanimate Dark Confidant. I like that follow-up. Put that on top of library. Take a bunch of damage. Get in for 1. The next turn I attack for 9 if uncontested. And deploy Confidant. Time Walk's a good one. Let's see if the opponent can play some kind of roadblock. Palantir. Okay. Yeah, I'm just getting milled here. Milling a land. Draw Dark Confidant. Play it out. Play tap land. Attack for 9. And then my opponent has to do something very strong here. Which, unfortunately, that deck is capable of, especially the One Ring. Questing Beast. Questing Beast attacks. I don't think it's close. But I'm gonna let them draw. Confidant. Hitting land. Draw step, hitting Lurus. Okay. Not the best. So let's see what happens if I go Power the Confidant, attack with everything. I think that's how I play. What if I boost? Yeah, I'll do that on the Confidant. Let's see what the opponent blocks. They block Confidant. I get in for 7. They block Big Boy Oli. I get in for 5. Actually, no, I get in for 7, actually. Huh. So I get in for the same no matter where my opponent blocks. Okay, they get rid of that, and I... okay. The opponent's at 2 life. I think what I'm supposed to do here is play Lurus, is that correct? I don't think the Exhume makes sense, giving my opponent Questing Beast, and I might die and stuff like that. Let's play Lurus, and I guess Badlands is the card for the job. Can't play anything from my yard, pass, and now the opponent needs to do it to me. Guess it starts with the One Ring. My opponent's journey starts with the One Ring. Trying to look at my deck list here. I don't think I have. I have a Lightning Bolt to finish off my opponent, but I think that's it. Like, finish my opponent off around the combat step. Okay, opponent's not drawing any cards with Ring. I'm letting them draw with Palantir. That's kind of the name of the game. My opponent's going to have a full grip next turn trying to win the game. That's scary. Very scary. I'm trying to think about... so I can attack with this land to try and find that Lightning Bolt. Yeah, I think I'm supposed to do that. Yeah. Make that a creature. Attack. Discard the Cliffs. Don't draw the Bolt. Now it could be time for the tap land and pass. Was I supposed to play Dark Confidant there? Not sure. Dark Confidant in case I get back the... No, I think this is just better. I don't want that life loss. Like, bad stuff can happen. Opponent now activates the One Ring. I like this because they have one more card to work with, but they don't die. Okay. From the 1 damage in case they somehow stabilize. Okay, so we managed to succeed with our game plan. Reanimating turn 2 definitely helps. Yeah, I don't think I have anything to consider out of my sideboard. I mean, cards like Fire Covenant are not the best. Maybe Snuff Out and Dismember aren't the best. Like, I have a lot of stuff, but that's most likely not the best against my opponent's game plan, but I don't think I have a way to get away from that stuff. I spend all of my picks getting a great aggressive deck together. I don't have any sideboard cards against combo. Obviously, I would have loved discard spells, maybe Graveyard Hate, not sure, but maybe something like Soul Guide Lantern or Unlicensed Hearse would be decent. All right, game 3 for all the marbles. Winner gets to play 1 more draft pot. Loser is out. So, yeah, this is it. Okay, so no broken reanimation. We do have, like, good 2 drops, best 3 drop. A removal spell in case my opponent relies on something like, I don't know, Forcer or something to stem the bleeding. This is fine. This is like the average hand for the deck. Exploration. Okay. Opponent's on a mold to 6. See what we draw. I'm going to develop the tap land. Maybe I'm going to regret it. In case my opponent goes Land Courser. Okay. Yeah, I'm actually a bit sad about this because... yeah, especially now that I draw another land. Okay. Yeah. Huh. So now I have to play off curve in one way or the other. So let's see. The opponent only played 1 land there. Yeah, I'm gonna dismember this turn. It doesn't feel very good, but I think if I can delay my opponent, that also counts towards, trying to win the game. There's Courser after I kill... Huh. Okay, so the opponent didn't play a land last turn. Didn't play their second land, rather, because they wanted, like, life gain with Courser. That's well played. And now my Dismember is gone. Opponent's hand is the Seiju. Now I have to build a big board up, I would say. Or draw Fire Covenant. Huh, is this 1 more turn of killing my opponent's creature? My opponent's hand is land. they draw a bad Crucible. Yeah, I think this is a viable strategy. If I can get rid of my opponent's life gain, then go double 2-drop and then gut 2-drop. I mean, guess it works. Play Badlands. I think I'm supposed to go Robber and Harvester. Get blood. Attack. And now the journey starts. I need my opponent to not draw like perfect cards from here. Strip Mine. I'm not scared of that card. Oh, okay. Okay. I didn't think about that. Okay, so I get Strip Mine twice. Okay, that's dangerous. But thankfully I can, I can get this gut going. So now the opponent might want to Besage my blood token. That's just a great play. Like, the opponent plays this land out early, bounces it, could have cashed it in, like, developed it a long time ago. But this is a great play by the opponent. So what I'm going to do here is go for, I guess just my tap land. That's fine. Attack, and then I'm going to sacrifice a Robber, I think, get in for 7. Yeah, the opponent did a good job here. That's just heads-up play. I can get double stripped, but if my opponent doesn't handle the board, this could be over super quickly. Strip mine it is. Let's see what color my opponent's looking to... Oh, okay, my opponent's trying to build here. Not sure that's going to work. Draw. So now I can go... Played our Confidant. Attack with everything. I think that's lethal, isn't it? Yeah, that's lethal. Wow. Gut. What a card. So we managed to escape here despite the awkward start of delay my 2-drop, kill Wall, delay my next turn, kill Courser, and then kind of kill my opponent quickly with a great curve. And in the meantime, I mean, Crucible Strip Mine Exploration, that's going to be great against a non-aggressive deck, but yeah, I just focused on reducing my opponent's life total to 0, and that thankfully worked. Oof, that was a great one. Thank you guys so much for watching. So the next video is going to be my journey in the top 8. Remember, now I won the pod. Like 7 other players won their pod, and we are going to form a new pod and draft again. So yeah, these are the best tournaments. And yeah, so the next one will be the top 8, and can't wait to see you there. Bye for today, guys.